All right, what's up, y'all? AWB, I'm back at it. Go ahead, wait for a couple people to shoot in here. But until then, go ahead and share this. Let y'all know what's going on. So I'm doing this stream to talk about my book I have that really is because it already launched. Um, I appreciate all the support, everybody who is supporting what I'm doing, who has been supporting me all this time. You know, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the Patreon page. Let me go. I'll put that in the comments. Hold on. I'm put that in the comments. Become a Patreon subscriber. Hey, what's up, Karen? How are you? Yeah, so I'm just talking about my book that I have come that have well, it's really out now. This book is already released. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna post the link. Hold on, let me. I wrote this book. It took me a couple weeks, and I wrote it while I was writing my other book, which is out now. It's called I'm gonna share that one too. But this one is having issues with the Kindle versus the paper book version of it. So it's just available on Kindle right now. But this is my book about my journey as you know from the title says it all, from coma to calling. And when I wrote this book, my connection with God really took off when I left the hospital and I realized what I actually had been through. You know, it's one thing to have a near death experience, but when you come to realization that you almost passed away, but God kept you here for whatever reason it is. I think my calling is to tell more people about God and know that no matter what, God is there for you. God has always been there for me, and I see that through my life, and I realize how many times I didn't give God the credit that God deserves. Every second of the day, or every second that you're breathing, it we should be thanking God for that breath. I was more of a I looked at things from a ego standpoint versus God being their standpoint. So I always believed in God and knew that God was real, but I hadn't applied that to my life really. I just looked at it like, oh, like say something would happen, and I wouldn't give God the credit that God deserves about getting me through certain situations, like the situation with my sister being murdered. I think that's going on about seven 7 years ago, and it was during that time that I really had a disconnection with God, and I just you know I just couldn't in my mind I just couldn't deal with the fact that God let that happen, or I I can't get I can't I couldn't deal with the fact that that was allowed to happen under God's watch, and that that actually made me that actually developed a bad relationship with me and God. So it took me a while to get over that. And what recently brought me back to that standpoint was my mom just passed away, and she passed away from cancer. And I just think like, man, if I had a better relationship with God, I could have I could have been there. I could have been there even in a greater stance for my mom than anything else. With my When my mom was passing away, I was I was just trying to do everything myself. I was just basically relying on my ego versus stopping and talking to God about it. I did pray sometimes, and I did talk to God sometimes, but I realized that every moment I should have been communicating with God about what was going on with my mom and been able to be there for her in a more complete way. FAQ, what's up? What's up? Oh, Karen say when that happened to your husband, which I'm sorry that happened. But yeah, it basically it's like you go through this you go through a mode where you like where you question God and you wonder how God can let things happen, but the issue is really that we just weren't connected to God like we should have been. Yeah, FAQ say bad things happen to good people is one of the hardest things to accept about God's perfect plan. It really That's true. And that was the issue that I was having with what was happening with what happened to my sister, and also what happened with my mom. It was or because I don't if you ever have had to deal with somebody who has cancer, it's devastating, and especially for it to be a parent who you're you're there for them every single day, but you just can't. you can't take the cancer away from them. You know, it would be better. It would have been better if I was talking to God every second of that time that I was that I spent with my mom, and that we could talk to God together. And that's the thing. It was me just relying on my ego to get me through that situation. And I realized that, you know, actually I realized that it was a while after she actually passed away. But I realized that by me being closer to God, it would have helped her manage the stress or everything that she was going through a lot better. I believe it would have even helped my sister uh just been able to deal with things a lot better and avoid the situation uh that avoid the situation that she ended up being a victim in. And I think it's just because we didn't have a a good enough relationship. Well, I didn't have a good enough relationship with God at that point. It was ego and me thinking I can fix everything or help everything, but it was doing it, but it was from an ego. It was from an ego standpoint, and what it takes is you to realize that God is the reason. God is what is going to help you get through everything. So this is the book that I just wrote. It's called Eyes on Authority: How to Hold Public Service Accountable. And in this book, it's just me talking about how important it is for us to know our rights and know that holding a camera when you go to these places is you're not doing anything malicious, or you're not doing anything to everything you're doing is right in that situation. When you go to these public places and you hold a camera to them, you're doing something right. It's it gets in our it they keep telling us or trying to get us to believe that by holding the camera in these situations, or when we go in these buildings or dealing with these people, that we're doing something wrong. That's not the case at all. And as y'all see, chapter 1 in my book, it says the lens of accountability. Is how I started at this section of my book. The camera doesn't lie. A history of misuse. I talk about how the camera has helped us in like here in 1991. I talk about the Rodney King beating. If they didn't have that on camera, we wouldn't even know about what happened to Rodney King. We wouldn't know what happened to uh, it was what's the name, George Floyd. We wouldn't know what happened to him. We wouldn't know what happened to that guy who was, they say he was selling cigarettes, or selling loose cigarettes, and they put him in a chokehold and killed him. Then we have an episode, we have where the officers sat with his knee on a man's chest until he couldn't breathe anymore and died. If we didn't have somebody, if we didn't have somebody recording it, those situations, you know, we just it's crazy how they try to make it seem like having a camera is the issue. And having a camera is never an issue. So yeah, I talk about the impact on George of that happening with George Floyd. It says the law and your rights know when to record. While the right to record public servants is protected under the First Amendment Act, it's important to know that laws in your state, and I talk about knowing specific laws and know that, yeah, we do have a right, but you have to know about the proper procedures when it comes to exercising that right. But then chapter two it says I wrote know your rights, the legal framework. So this is really a great book, honestly. Like this book that I wrote would have been a book that I would have read before I started going out there with my camera. Because when I went out there with my camera, there was there was no I didn't know any book that I could read or that would tell me about what it is that I was going out there and doing. I just watch videos and I realized, oh, this is something that's being done. This the way they act with us recording, it's like we're breaking the law. And it shouldn't feel like that. It shouldn't be we're not breaking the law. All we're doing is we're holding them accountable. That's all you're doing when it comes to recording in public and recording anything that happens. Everything that the government does, you want to have a record of it, because if anything goes left, you need to make sure that you have evidence, because they're going to have everything going against you. So I said the First Amendment, your right to record. At its core, the First Amendment protects your right to gather and disseminate information, which includes the right to record public servants performing their duties in public places. This protection is vital because it allows citizens to hold public officials accountable and to document instances of misconduct and abuse of power. Recording public servants is a form of is a form of free speech, and that's one thing that when we go to these places they try to tell us what to do. It's like you can't control what I'm doing in public. For Like you can't just tell me I can't do something if I'm not if I'm doing something within my rights. And it's crazy that we're dealing with the First Amendment a lot of these times, and it's like they have an issue with the First Amendment. It's the first one. It's not like we're dealing with something. It's the First Amendment, the first one listed. The first one of our rights is the one that they attack the most, which is insane to me, and it shouldn't be done. So recording public servants is a form of free speech, and courts across the United States repeatedly upheld this right. Whether you whether you document a protest, recording a police stop, or capturing footage of government officials, your right to record is protected as long as you are in a public space and not interfering with their work. That's why I say that's why they try to switch it and to interfering when me standing there recording you is not interfering with anything. You're interfering with me actually. And that's the thing that they'll say you're interfering, but really they're interfering with you. Like when I was in Miami and I was filming, it was a woman who this lady, she undressed completely. She took off all clothes and she was just sitting on a sidewalk area. And this officer just who parked crazy, he parked this vehicle insane. Like it was going against traffic, and he parked in front of a light. It was all type of stuff going on. And when he pulled off, he almost hit somebody. But it was he had an issue with me just recording what was going on. And he tried to get me to stop recording over and over again. And he was doing it right in front of his department, which is crazy to me. So that I do have a not only after that video, I go up to that I go into that department and talk to him about it. But you know, when you go and you don't have a recorded evidence and you don't have the people saying, hey, that wasn't right, it's like they don't care. They don't even take that serious. That's why we have to hold that's why we have to record, because we need more people to see it, because that's the only way that they'll understand anything. They need more people to be aware of the situation, and that's when the situation is addressed. However, it is important to remember that while the First Amendment offers a broad protection, there are nuances to fight that vary from state to state, particularly concerning audio recording. And that's another thing. They try to use they try to say, oh, if you auto recording, you're wiretapping or some BS. But I needed a book like this to tell me about all the ways that they try to trick you out of your rights. It's like they try to con you out your right out of your rights, or you try to put you in a situation where your rights are used against you. So here in chapter 3, the history of surveillance and accountability. One, I say a legacy of surveillance. The act of recording a bearing witness is not a new concept. Throughout history, the ability to document and disseminate evidence centrally to hold has been central to holding power to account for Black Americans. And y'all gotta know my platform is called Other Than While Black, so I don't go in these situations and expect them to just treat me like every other citizen. When they see me and they see my skin color, they automatically assume that they automatically feel a a superiority type. uh, they automatically feel a way about that. Like when I get in these situations, they're like, "What are you doing, holding people accountable? What are you doing, exercising your rights?" You know, at one time, your people didn't even have rights. It's basically that's basically what they say to me when I go and I'm exercising my rights. It's basically like they're looking at me and acting like I shouldn't be doing what I'm doing. So it's all right for Black Americans. This has been particularly crucial from the days of slavery to the civil rights movement. Our fight for justice has been often hinged on the ability to expose the truth to to a broader audience. The camera is a tool of surveillance, has been instrumental in ongoing struggle. In this chapter, we'll explore the history of surveillance and its role in advancing civil rights. So that's basically what I talk about in this chapter. But I mean, it's a great read. You will love it. If you take the time out to read it. It's only 8 chapters, so it's not a long book. I mean, it's a quick read, and you'll get a lot of benefit from reading over it and just seeing what I had to say. Oh, hey, Karen, Karen wrote me. All right, Karen. Good night. Good night. Jima, thank you, thank you. Yeah, Jima said, glad I'm doing better. Yeah, which it took a while. It took a while, and I'm still recovering. So while while I'm in the midst of recovering, is when I wrote these books. So you know that's where I'm kind of at with it right now. I I have to do something during my recovery. During my recovery, um, one thing that has happened is that YouTube demonetized my channel. So I don't know. I had to put the Patreon. So if you can support me, which and then whichever way you can. And I just think this wasn't the way that when I started this channel, this wasn't about, oh, I'm gonna create a platform and I'm gonna have over 15,000 people subscribe to my channel. Well, I should say over 20,000, but I just wasn't expecting that, and I didn't know that at one point I would need to talk to my audience or talk to y'all about what was going on with me physically or what was going on in my everyday life. Y'all know I've been over here in a foreign country, and I never once asked the audience to help me in this situation or help me out. Hold on, let me see where we at in the on the server. Let me see. Okay. Yeah, we're having a little issue with it with the screen sharing. So y'all have to remember it's been a while since I've been on this platform. So I have to remember how StreamYard works and everything. But yeah. Y'all are gonna I'm telling you, you're gonna love this, and you're gonna get a lot from this reading. From reading this. Eyes on authority, how to hold public service accountable. So I've written books before, but I didn't write books with the technology that we have today and how we're able to use technology to help us uh, project our thoughts even better. Let me see, because and I want to just hold on real quick. Let me see. Here we go. I'm gonna play this video a little bit. This was when a incompetent officer. It's titled "Incompetent Officer Threatens to Arrest Black Journalists for Exercising Rights." And this cop just couldn't get he just couldn't get past the fact that what I was doing was a First Amendment right. He just couldn't get past the point that I was exercising my rights because it was something that he didn't understand and something he didn't like.
I'm conducting a lawful business, so
You're not conducting lawful business because when I ask you what it is, you're not being specific. You're being
Like listen to him.
generic.
it's a content force. I'm not wandering through the building.
Can't roll around.
Sergeant, is that a problem?
Yeah, you can't.
Now, what I'm asking you to do is leave and go down to the lobby.
And if I don't, you're gonna arrest me.
I'm gonna trespass you, and then after I trespass you, I'm gonna arrest you. If he's gonna be arrested, that's all the process is gonna be. He's gonna be asked to leave. If he refuses to leave, then he's gonna be trespassed. And after the trespass, if he refuses to leave, he'd be arrested. So at that point, he wants to talk to a supervisor because he feels the rights to be fine.
Did you guys take the action?
So right here, when the cop when he was asking the other cop that just explained to him the BS, he asked him, did they take the badge from him?
Yes, we already have.
Okay, already have it.
And they said, oh, he already had the badge. So which means they give you this when you go into this public building, they give you a badge to go to wherever you got to go. But that means you've already addressed with it means you've already signed in with them.
Okay, so he can be wherever. It's not in the.
He was saying, okay, well, he can be wherever, just not in the restricted areas, is basically what he's telling his officer. But this officer is a moron. He just doesn't get it.
City council chambers, that's the unauthorized area he went into.
You guys go to the city clerk's office. You went to the city clerk's office.
And I want to see the rest of the building. Is that a problem?
Yeah, it is a problem. You just can't roll around.
Sergeant, is that a problem?
Yeah, you can't just wander through the building.
I'm not wandering through the building. I'm an independent journalist and I'm gathering content for a story.
I would.
Each building.
I'm
doesn't have to
conducting
be-
lawful business, so
You're not conducting lawful business because when I asked you what it is, you're not being specific. You're being generic.
it's a First Amendment protected activity.
What is?
Freedom of the press.
Yeah.
So in this moment, this was his sergeant telling him that, hey, you need to let this go. But he just wouldn't let it go.
What is?
Freedom of the press.
Yeah.
Yeah, check out the building. Because I want to. What do you mean?
Because you're supposed to be on two. That's what you asked me for.
I said, and I want to see the
No,
building.
you say you want to go to the city clerk.
Yeah, and see the building. You asked me
No,
why.
no.
You asked me why, and I said
No,
because I want
said the
to.
city clerk. So you get my badge, right? The badge I gave you.
Yeah.
Where is it? Because you're gonna leave now, so why are you giving all these particulars to this guy?
I'm sorry?
Why are you giving the particulars? I was a private
See,
investigator.
he doesn't understand
Okay,
what
let-
public
let
means.
me explain this to you.
Please do.
Okay, so we are required as city employees to have our ID visible if someone needs it.
Yeah, who needs it?
Great.
Like you can work where how I work, you get random people calling you all the time, because you don't always have the numbers.
You don't know exactly.
Here to see the clerk.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're going on your own side.
Asked me why I was here. I said, I'm going up to see the clerk and I want to see the rest of the building. He asked me why. I said, because I want to.
All right, well, although it's a public building, access is controlled. So if you want to go to clerk's office, you go to clerk's office. You just can't walk around the building.
A public bit. Who are you?
Officer Mercado with Tampa Police,
And badge number?
643,
Yeah, and you're a sergeant?
MPO.
All right. Do you have a sergeant that could come here?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would appreciate that.
All right, what do you need a sergeant for?
Because I believe you're gonna try to violate my rights. So I would like the sergeant here.
All right, well, the sergeant will come after I do what I need to do. So right now I need to.
So it's not in your policy to get a sergeant when I request it?
It is, after I do what I need to do.
And what do you need to
It
do?
doesn't prevent me from doing what I need to do.
And what do you need to do?
I need you to go down to the lobby.
Okay. So are you gonna arrest me if I don't?
If you want me to go that route. we
I'm
go that
asking
route.
you, I'm just asking you a question.
No,
Yet,
I hope to.
are you going to arrest me if I
hope
don't?
to de-escalate the issue so that I don't have to arrest you.
Why you
But
want,
here's the process, okay? I'll explain the process to you. I'm gonna ask you to go out to the lobby, all right? If after I ask you to go to the lobby, if you refuse to go to the lobby, I'm gonna trespass you. And then after I trespass you, if you refuse, then I will arrest you.
So
We're hoping to avoid all.
you're going to arrest me if I don't leave right now, is what you just said.
That's not what I just said.
Yeah, first of all.
You're recording it, so I don't understand why you're not understanding what I'm saying. That is not what I
No,
said.
you're not answering my question.
Because
It's
you're
either a
not-
yes or a no.
That is not what I said. What I said
But
was.
it's a yes. But
it's a
I'm
three-step
asking you.
process.
But I'm asking you a yes or no.
Eventually, if you do not leave after I trespass you, you will be arrested.
And you're going to, what would you be trespassing me for?
Because you're in a public building in a controlled access area.
That makes absolutely no sense. If you, he would trespass me for being in an area where it's controlled access. What?
See, because it's a public building, that doesn't mean you can just walk in and walk wherever you want.
But somebody let me in here.
They let you in because they thought you were going to the clerk's office.
No, this right here, this area is a control area. You're saying, right?
Correct.
They let me in this
Because she
area.
didn't know.
They didn't let you in here.
I don't know.
That was me showing that you have to be buzzed into this area. So he's saying, "Oh, she didn't let you in here." What do you mean she didn't let me in here? You have to be buzzed to get into this area.
How you doing?
And there it is right there. It says authorized personnel only. That means I'm not supposed to go through this door.
Yeah.
They let you to the clerk's office.
Do you know how you have to get in this part right here?
Right.
Somebody has to buzz you in.
Okay, well, she didn't know that you were here for that,
She didn't know I was here for what? To see the building?
to come into this controlled area.
Yeah, I said I want to see the building.
That's the whole immune point. Right now, what I'm asking you to do is leave and go down to the lobby.
And if I don't, you're gonna arrest me.
I'm gonna trespass you, and then after I trespass you, I'm gonna arrest you, if you wanna go that route. We're trying to avoid all of that.
I'm just asking you a question.
I just answered your question.
So if I don't leave and go to the lobby, you're gonna trespass me for being in a control area?
Correct,
And then if I don't leave, then you're gonna trespass me. I mean, you're gonna arrest me.
correct.
Okay. And your badge number was
I already told you, 643.
643. Okay.
Is there something that specifically that you needed in the clerk's office that we can help you with?
I would like a sergeant.
Well, I'll get you something. You came and wanted to go to the clerk's office, so is there something?
Why do you keep, he asked me why I was here. I said, I'm going up to see the clerk and I want to see the rest of the building. He
Okay.
asked me why. I said, because I want to.
All right,
Y'all keep saying you came here to go to the clerk's office. I told him specifically that I wanted to see the whole building. And you keep ignoring that. I don't know why. Everybody's confused on that part, but that's why I would like a sergeant, because you're obviously trying to violate my rights. And I'm telling you that, and you won't get the sergeant. I don't know why, but I'd rather you had a sergeant here.
Oh, I did the sign what you wanted.
thank you. MO1.
And I'm trying to see, how would you trespass me if they would have to trespass me, not you?
Can you put me on a student 19T and a 315 Kennedy and the subject?
What I couldn't understand is how an officer that he doesn't work there, he doesn't have really any business really being there. How is he going to trespass me from a place he doesn't have? He doesn't even have the right to be in that area. So he's gonna. He said he was gonna trespass me from that area, which I just didn't understand. I'm like, well, they would have to trespass me, and if I violate that trespass order, then that's when you would take action. But for him to say that he was gonna trespass me,
Yeah, I talked to both of y'all specifically. He asked me, I said I want to go to the clerk and I also want to see the rest of the building. Then he asked me why, and I said, because I want to. And now they're trying to act like I never said I wanted to see the rest of the building. But this is why I document everything, because people lie and people get confused about what was said. And I know I'm not confused.
And that is specifically why I hold them accountable and I record, because people will say something different than what they actually said later. So you have to have it needs to be on camera. You have to have evidence that you can bring forth. Otherwise, it's what you said versus what they said.
And we got Allied Universal Security again. Now I have to go back to clerk's office to get the names of the security guards.
The reason he got denied was because he waited until.
Yeah,
The guy that's up there is the one that's down here.
Yeah.
Say something. The security guard that was up there is the one that works here.
I know. I saw him when I came up here. He saw me.
Yeah.
And talking about some controlled access area. Okay, sure. But we'll see. Now we'll see if the sergeant comes here and either.
And this is in Tampa, Florida. I couldn't believe how bad Tampa was operating until I decided to go inside their public buildings.
Upholds the law or violates my rights. We'll see. See, as a citizen, you come out to see your city buildings, and obviously, there's no transparency here or accountability. First, they want you. As soon as you get in here, they want to violate your rights by demanding you identify yourself. Then after that, you go and you identify yourself. You exercise. You give up your Fourth Amendment, and then they also want you to give up your First Amendment too. Y'all gonna hear about this, believe me.
Make sure you get this sign in your video.
Yeah, the unconstitutional sign. Yeah, sure. He said make sure you get the unconstitutional sign saying that you got to sign in to go into a public building. And I asked them to get the building manager so I can confirm this or talk to the building manager about it. They wouldn't do that. They said I need to go next.
The reason I kept asking for the building manager is because when you go to courthouses or court buildings, they have a building manager. So a lot of times that's who you have to deal with. It's a bit different when you're dealing with City Hall. A lot of times they don't have a building manager. So that's what kind of threw me off about this situation.
Door to see the building manager. So yeah, what happened to law enforcement enforcing the law? And upholding their oath to the Constitution. What happened to that? Is your body camera on?
Yeah.
All right. I would like to get the incident number so I could go ahead and get that too.
You can get that through public information requirements.
Yeah, but I need the number.
And I did get that body cam footage for those. It's labeled, I think, crazy incompetence or something like that. It's labeled crazy incompetent officer threatens to arrest Black journalists for exercising rights 102 or something like that. But I did get that footage.
First. Are you gonna provide that?
Yeah, I'll give it to you later.
When is later?
When I get to my computer.
Okay. So on that camera, I wonder what he said to them. He's trying to act like I didn't tell him already that I wanted to see the rest of the building. He's trying to act like I didn't say that for some reason.
You went for public records, that's what you asked for.
Yeah, check out the building.
Right.
Because I want to. And I said I want to see the rest of the building.
No,
I didn't say that.
Second floor.
I didn't say I want to see the rest of the building. You didn't hear that?
No, second floor, no.
Yeah, check out the building.
Right.
Because I want to.
You said
So,
And that's why I kept doing that flashback. And that's why I loved having a camera so much and having an objective record. So when he says, "Oh, you never said that," well, I did say that because, and I go back and I play back the time when I actually told him.
Yeah, check out the building. Because I want to.
So when I first came in, he said, "I never told him that." I obviously did.
So yeah, he's saying he didn't hear that. Okay, that's why I record, because I have it on camera.
You don't have to argue.
Yeah, you said.
It's not an
That's why I record, because I have it on camera.
argument.
Hold on now. You said
I'm saying the truth and he's lying.
You said the city, no, hold on.
You lying.
The city clerk.
I don't want to hear you lie.
Well, look at the witness there. You said
Yeah.
you want to see the city clerk.
Did I not say I want to see the rest of the building? Are you gonna lie too?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna get.
Now she doesn't want to get into it because she says she don't want to lie. So
No, I didn't say that, I said I don't want to be recorded.
okay, you're not recorded. It's facing them.
Okay. So you get my badge, right? The badge I gave you.
Yeah.
Where is it? Because you're gonna leave now, so I don't want you to take it with you.
Well,
And the purpose of that badge is for it to be displayed as a visitor.
we're gonna talk to the sergeant and see if they let's see if he upholds my rights.
See, the purpose of that badge is so you can display that you're a visitor in the building.
This is a public building. What are you talking about?
It's a public building.
Yes, it does matter. And the fact that you don't know that is scary. The fact that you don't know it's a difference. You know, they have no concept of public and private and what the citizens have the right to do in a public building.
I don't want to make two trips, so.
Oh, yeah. Are you one of,
I'm a citizen off the
are you
street.
one of Eagle Rob's friend or?
I'm a citizen off the street, and y'all don't treat citizens well.
No, from Eagle City.
You're a liar, man. I don't want to talk. I don't like talking to liars. Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
but I know you.
And I'm gonna get the body cam footage to see what you told the officer too, and the call. I need to hear that call too.
Man, it's a waste of time.
Yeah.
Wasting your time, you already get some pictures you wanted,
Whatever.
and you lied, you said you're going to the second.
You a liar.
And then you went.
You the liar, and I have it on camera. So yeah, we'll see. You know, you gonna regret that. Believe me, you're gonna regret it.
Somebody's coming for you. When Eagle Rob used to come here,
Morning.
all he does, tell him to sign, he signs.
You could talk to him.
No, you.
Okay, for what? I don't know why you're talking to me. He's a liar.
You don't have to explain anything.
He don't.
Trying to.
He's a liar. It's explain a lot. I'm the one who caused the trouble. You the one who called the police on me.
Oh, sure, because you don't want to leave. You went to a place you're not supposed to go by that. And I told her.
Okay, Karen, thank you.
Open that place forever. You can put any camera, I don't care. So. You know, love is for me, 10 of them, but they treat us nicely, but I treat them nicely, they leave. But you want to be so. Yeah, and try to do something different. Oh, it's me?
Uh-huh.
No, it's all right, man. It's just the truth, that's all for me.
either a liar or you don't have good memory.
Remember,
I'm thinking you're a liar. I'm not gonna give you a benefit of doubt of you not having good memory.
You don't even know me, so I have to say,
Cause you lied. I do know you. You lied.
you don't know me, you don't ever see me, this is the first time.
Yeah, and the first time I seen you, you lied and called the police on me.
Go and ask Igor Rob family,
I don't know who that is.
because I never seen you with Igor Rob anyway,
I don't know who you talking about.
from Igor City.
I don't know who this person is you talking about. Maybe y'all know. If y'all know who you talking about, let me know.
They're gonna have these things right there. And our council meetings here, put that off a week though. They got that on, they talking about total block.
You would think.
Oh, very good.
Oh, yeah.
So as y'all see, this guy was on some BS. He took that off of me while he's standing in public. He saw me recording when he came in the building or came up to talk to her, and I was recording it in this direction anyway. He tried, oh, take that off of me. People like him, I didn't even pay him no attention.
One of the first things I did.
What's going on?
How you doing? Yeah.
What are you doing?
Are you the building manager?
No.
All right.
You need anything?
The building manager.
Okay. Is somebody looking for him?
I would hope so.
Okay.
If you see them, you can tell them I would like to talk to them.
Have you asked him? I'm not
Yeah.
gonna see him.
Yeah. Well, I asked him. He wouldn't call for
What's
him.
the problem with the building?
I like to talk to him about the policies here.
Okay, like what policies?
I would like to talk to the building manager about it.
Okay, I don't know if he's around or not, but
Okay.
we'll ask.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. If you want to know what I was doing, you could ask. Yeah. Yeah. You got this guy.
Mr. Al.
How you doing, young man?
But
You already have the law enforcement officer. It's almost-
that's not the building manager. That's law enforcement. Ain't got nothing to do with this. I don't know why you wasted taxpayers' dollars to,
He's in charge of that
you know.
building and here, so you can talk to him.
Yeah.
No problem talking to him.
Yeah. And call the armed gunman to come here for me exercising my rights.
No, I'm inside the city hall.
Yeah, so as y'all see, we got a whole bunch of BS going on. So, like I was saying, that Tampa video was insane. I just couldn't believe the way that they act in that city. And again, that's why I wish I had this book at that time. And this is for everybody. This is the book I wrote for everybody. If you can support, go ahead and grab this book, and or also subscribe to my Patreon. I have a Patreon account, so subscribe to the Patreon. If you subscribe to the Patreon, I'll send you the book. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and jump off live stream. I'm gonna jump off this live. I've been on for seems like a long while now. Let me see how long. But y'all, you know, if you like, you can talk to me about what are your thoughts about this topic. What are your thoughts about the book? Let me see. Hold on, I'm gonna share. Let me share this while I exit out. But yeah. So eyes on authority, how to hold the public servants accountable, and from the streets to the screen, document the fight for freedom. That's all we're doing. We're not doing anything. We're not doing nothing crazy here. We just exercising our rights, like everybody should be doing anyway. But with that being said, AWB, I'm out. I appreciate y'all.